Hi, I'm Rita Wilkins, also known as the Downsizing Designer. So tonight is Tuesday, 7 p.m., and I always talk about something with regard to lifestyle design or downsizing design. And tonight I'm going to talk about 3 ways to intentionally design a clutter-free life. So regardless of where you are on your decluttering journey, whether you're just getting started or whether you started but then you got stuck and you lost motivation, or whether you finished or so-called finished, and you're trying your best to maintain a clutter-free home, you're probably wondering if it's even possible to live a clutter-free life. So I'm here to tell you that yes, it is possible. Yes, it is hard work, and it does take discipline, and yes, it's worth it. So when your home is clutter-free, it's definitely more peaceful, calming, relaxing. It's a sanctuary. It's easier to think clearly, to focus better, and also to be more productive. And it's also an environment that just generates more energy and more life. And because it's not just the physical clutter that weighs you down, it's also that emotional clutter. You can probably relate to that, in that it impacts the day-to-day quality of our lives. So many people say to me, I'm embarrassed or I'm ashamed to have people into my house because it's so cluttered. Other people say they're frustrated and it just takes so much energy to constantly try to find things and keep up with all of the messes. And then other people say that, then sometimes it's hard to admit, but there's low self-esteem when you have a cluttered house because you're overwhelmed and you think that it's impossible for you to ever conquer all of that clutter. But if you dream of having that clutter-free life, that clutter-free home, it is possible. And tonight I'm going to just talk about 3 ways that you can intentionally design that kind of life. And as a designer for over 38 years, I've designed homes, I've designed beautiful buildings, and now I get the opportunity every day to help people actually design their life. And it's based on the same principles that I would use if I was designing your kitchen or your bathroom. So these guidelines are intentional design ways that you can, intentional guidelines that you can actually design a clutter-free life. So number 1 is get really good at deciding. So when you think about it, clutter is caused by deferring decisions to later. So I'll put those clothes away later. I'll do the dishes later. I'll clean off my desk later. We've all said that. And that deferred decision ultimately ends up having piles of mail, piles of stuff on the kitchen counter. If you want to live a clutter-free life, be intentional and make a habit of deciding to do it now. So deciding to put it where it belongs so that you can find it when you're looking for it. So that means hang up your coat now, do the dishes now, put them in the dishwasher, clear off your desk at the end of the day. So when it becomes a habit, and it will eventually, and when it becomes a routine in your life, you'll begin to experience what a clutter-free life actually feels like. The second step is to purge often. So when you remove things that don't matter to you, you're free to focus on those things that do. It's really that simple. So when you give up or you let go of those, of all that clutter, you gain peace of mind. So if you've experienced cleaning out a closet full of clothes and many of those clothes don't fit you, they don't look good on you, and you look at your closet and it already feels lighter, you feel better about it, and you gain peace of mind. Same is true of cleaning off the kitchen counter, cleaning out the mail, the piles of mail and so forth. All of that gives you the peace of mind, and that's really what purging often means. So whether it's items that you have in your home or items that are on your calendar, given that we are in a holiday season, I'm sure that you're going to be at invitations to things that you're saying, I'm not so sure I really want to go to that. So that's an example of purging. It's okay to say no. So when you let go of things that don't matter, you actually make room for things that do. So maybe you'll have a conflict on that calendar, and that calendar will say, I should go to this, but I really want to do this. So it's up to you to let go of those things that don't matter so you can make room for the things that do. Maintaining a clutter-free home does take practice. It takes courage to say no. But I will tell you, it gets easier over time, and you will discover it's worth that extra time to gain the peace of mind. And the third thing to intentionally design a clutter-free home is don't buy more. Now, I know that sounds obvious, but being intentional about every single purchase that you make, even going to the grocery store. If you don't have a list, you're going to end up buying things that you don't really want, you don't really need, or you have too many of the same thing. Don't allow anything into your home or onto your schedule, for that matter, that doesn't serve a purpose or provide meaning to you. So because we're in the holiday season, instead of mindless shopping, which we've all been guilty of, and I might top the list there, fill your time with meaningful activities and experiences instead. So, if you're tempted to go out shopping, number one, do you need to go shopping? Just ask yourself, and you may need to go shopping, but maybe you need a list so that you're not tempted to buy more than what you really need. When you intentionally design a clutter-free life, you'll always be mindful about what contributes to a higher quality of your life. So your home becomes a peaceful sanctuary space that you care about, you care for, and you protect it from those unwanted or unnecessary items that impact the sense of peace and calm that you've created. So I hope that this helps. Please feel free to reach out to me on Rita Wilkins at ritawilkins.com. This really matters. And I can tell you from my own experience that living with less, the quality of life is just incredibly more. And that's what I love sharing with other people. And I would just try out these 3 things. I will be creating a blog about this tomorrow. So if you missed some of it tonight, just feel free to read the blog. And I also put it on YouTube. All right. Thanks. Have a great night.